Okay, so last week we started the measurement chapter. We started with measuring units of length. We did mass and a little bit of volume last week. We're going to continue with volume, and then today we are also looking at time conversions as well as temperature calculations. Okay, so quite common topics in the exams. Nice and easy if we know all of our conversions off by heart. So that's the only tricky thing when it comes to these conversions, that we have to know them off by heart. So we had started with volume on Wednesday. So now we're just going to finish off by looking at cooking measurements, because it's also quite a common question. Okay, and the cooking measurements you need to know off by heart is how many milliliters in a cup, how many milliliters in a tablespoon, as well as a teaspoon. Okay, so make sure that you know these, because quite often you get recipe type questions and they will ask you how many liters do you need of the rice, for example, and then the recipe will tell you you need 3 cups of rice, and you must know that 1 cup is 250 milliliters. Okay, so really good screenshot moment if you haven't written this down. Okay, so keeping these cooking measurements in mind, it's nice and easy now that's in front of us. But let's have a look at the first question. It says, how many cups are there in 1,75 liters? So our key word is cups. Siwa, 7 straight away. Well done, that was super quick. Okay, so we're looking at cups, so that means we are looking at this conversion in particular. But in order to figure out how many cups, as we can see, the measurement is in milliliters. So we first need to convert our amount there into milliliters. So we need to remember that other conversion, milliliters to liters. What do we need to do? Hi, Unati. Welcome. Okay, so firstly, we need to do a quick conversion to get our amount into milliliters. So we times by 1,000. So that gives us 1,750 milliliters. Now that our amount is in milliliters, we can look at our cup measurements. Now remember, each cup holds 250 mils. So when you see how many times 250 milliliters fit into this amount, so we divide. And because we're dividing, we can see that 7 cups fits exactly into that amount. So if you had to measure 1,75 liters into a recipe, now you know that you would use 7 cups exactly. Here, you're able to assist Unati and iPhone user. Is Kia still here? Okay, so just to reiterate, we first have to convert our liters into milliliters. So can you see the question said, how many cups fit into 1,75 liters? But the only way we can convert to cups is we have to have our amount in milliliters. Okay, so I first took my liters and I times by 1,000 because I want to convert to milliliters. I can't go from liters straight into cups. Okay, so there were 2 conversions involved here. Just your usual measuring units of capacity, so going from liters to milliliters. Once we're in milliliters, we can then convert to cups. Does that help? Because I see quite a few of you asked about the 1,000. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's a really important thing to remember when it comes to cooking measurements. All our amounts need to be in milliliters. in order for us to use these amounts. Okay, let's have a look at that one more time. So, because our question asked, how many cups are there in 1,75 liters? Because we are working out cups, we are going to be looking at this conversion. However, we only know the size of a cup in milliliters, but the question gave us an amount in liters. So I have to convert the liters. So I times by 1,000, because remember our conversions that we did on Wednesday. So because I am going from liters to milliliters, I'm following this arrow. So I times by 1,000. So that's what I did in the first step. Times by 1,000, so I can get the answer in milliliters. Once we have it in milliliters, we just use our 250 mils, which is the size of 1 cup. Okay, so it was a little bit of a tricky one because there were 2 conversions involved, but just know as a standard rule or something to remember, you always need to have your amounts in milliliters to be able to use any of these amounts. Okay. Let's have a look at question B. I'm going to ask you guys to try question B and just keep your answers to yourselves for now. I just want everyone to try. Try question B for me. Sapan, yes, you could be asked something like this in the exam. Okay, do we have an answer for question B? How many teaspoons are there in 45 milliliters? Oh, you guys are winning. Nice. Okay, so this was actually a really nice, easy one. Thanks to everyone for answering and giving some calculations. So nice and easy. The question had the amount in milliliters already, so all you had to do was go and check the teaspoon conversion. Each teaspoon holds 5 milliliters. So you check how many times 5 milliliters goes into 45, which is 9 times. Therefore, it is 9 teaspoons. Great. Well done. Okay, let's quickly try question C. Remember, our key thing to remember, it needs to be in milliliters. Okay, so we're looking at the question. 2 key things we need to take note of is tablespoons. They're asking for how many tablespoons are there in 0.06 liters. So what's the first thing we need to do? Okay, cool. We all got the answer. Amazing. Okay, so I hope that we feel a little bit more confident. So firstly, we need to convert the liters to milliliters. So we use our normal conversion, times it by 1000, which gives us 60 milliliters. Now that's in milliliters, we can divide by the size of a tablespoon, which is 15, which gives you 4 tablespoons. Nice. Okay, so something like that, a question like this could easily be 3 marks. Okay, for your first conversion, the second conversion, and your final answer. Okay, so whenever you are converting, make sure you show you're working out. Even if it's a small little thing in another question, if you have to times by 100, divide by something, show that, because you always get conversion marks. Nice, and I see we all got 4 tablespoons. Awesome. Okay, so let's try looking at a slightly different question. Let's step it up a little bit. It says, calculate the total volume of liquid in liters in this recipe. Okay, so keywords, we want the total. As you can see, we've got 2 cups of milk, 3 teaspoons of vanilla essence, 320 mils of coffee, 4 tablespoons of food coloring. So we need to go and work out all those milliliters and add them together. And then the last thing is that they want the answer in liters. So again, we're doing the milliliters and liters conversions. I'm going to ask you guys to quickly try that by yourselves, but let me know if you have any questions. Cool. So who was it? Siwa. So we're just looking at...
Siwa's asking if you could please repeat the instruction.
Okay, so we are looking at all the items listed in the bullet points. They asked us to calculate the total volume of liquid in liters in this recipe. So I've given you a recipe. The recipe needs 2 cups of milk, 3 teaspoons of vanilla essence, 320 mils of coffee, 4 tablespoons of food coloring. So because we know how many mils are in cups, teaspoons, and tablespoons, you need to go and work out the total milliliters there. Add everything together and then put your answer in liters. Pleasure. Leah, somewhat similar. We need to, now we go in the opposite way. We are taking our cups and teaspoons and we are converting that to milliliters. In the previous question, we had it in milliliters and we converted to cups and teaspoons. So now it's the opposite way. Okay, do we have an answer? Can I go through this question? Yes. 2 decimal places. Always give your actual answer and then your rounded answer. Good question. Nice. Oh, I'm seeing some nice answers coming through here. Okay. Let's quickly go through this. So we need to work out the total volume of liquid in liters. But the only way for us to get the total in liters, we need to first convert these cups, teaspoons, tablespoons into milliliters. Once we have all of that, we can then add it together and then convert to liters. There is no direct conversion from cups, teaspoons, tablespoons into liters. We only have these conversions over here. So we have to first go through to milliliters and then can convert. So the first thing we're looking at is 2 cups of milk. We know that a cup is 250 milliliters. So if we've got 2 of them, I'm going to say 2 times by 250 milliliters. Okay, so that helps me work out the amount of milk. Then I'm going to add the 3 teaspoons of vanilla essence. It's 3 teaspoons and a teaspoon holds 5 milliliters. That helps me work out the vanilla essence. Then coffee is already in milliliters, so I just leave it as is. And then we've got 4 tablespoons of food coloring. So 4 tablespoons, a tablespoon is 15 milliliters. So I'm going to times by 4. Okay, so just also take note of the abbreviation for teaspoon versus the abbreviation for tablespoon. TB, tablespoon, that's, yeah, extra letter there. All right, and then when we add all of that together, we get an answer of 895 milliliters. However, we didn't want to stop just there. I made the question slightly harder by saying, please give your answer in liters. So we do our conversion that you also need to know off by heart. Divide by 1,000, which gives you 0.895 liters. But we always round to 2 decimal places, unless they say otherwise. So that becomes 0.90 liters. Okay, is this making sense? Are we feeling confident? Awesome. Okay, so I could literally ask you this question just like this without giving you any conversions. As you can see, you need to know these conversions off by heart. You needed to know that you times them by 250, by 5 mils, 15 mils, and you need to know your milliliters to liters conversion. Okay, awesome. Just a reminder, you guys can take screenshots if I'm moving too quickly, or ask me to slow down if you can't write all of it down quick enough. No, so they won't give you conversions in an exam. Maybe if you're lucky, they might give you these cooking ones, but it's not guaranteed. For the most part, they're not given. Okay, so that's why I say it's always... Okay, let's quickly, go to the formulas and conversions. One last chance for a screenshot. But trust me, the more conversions you do, the easier knowing them will become. It gets easier, because that's the hardest part, is actually remembering, what am I timesing, am I dividing? Is it by 1,000? Is it 10, 100? Remember, with our units of length, millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers, all had different numbers. Okay, so the hardest part of conversions is knowing them off by heart, but the more you practice, the easier it will stick in your head. Okay, so let's move on to temperature now. So temperature is the measurement of how hot or cold something is. The unit that we use in South Africa is degrees Celsius. An alternative unit is degrees Fahrenheit, and that's mainly used in America. Okay, but the only thing you guys really need to know about temperature is how to convert between the two units, how to go from degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit and vice versa. But the nice part about temperature is that these two formulas are always given to you. So you don't need to learn these. So you just need to identify which formula you're going to use, and then you substitute the amount in, the temperature in, and you work it out. Okay, so let's have a quick look at some questions. Just want to quickly, because we can't see the degrees. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look at the first question. Question 1, it says convert 25 degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. So we are going to be using the degrees Fahrenheit formula. So the second one over here, because that's what we want to work out. So we look at the beginning, we want degrees Fahrenheit, so we're going to use this formula. So all we do is now take the correct formula and we substitute our 25 degrees Celsius into this formula. So say 1,8 times by 25 plus 32. You don't need to include these degrees. That's not important. Let's check. Okay, I'll go up now. Is that what you're looking for? Okay, so we just substitute our degrees Celsius into the formula and put it into our calculator as is, and we get an answer of, who's done it already? I knew I could count on you guys. Nice, Ben and Sako. Well done. Leah, nice. Okay, 77. And remember to include the units, just like when we do normal conversions, grams, centimeters, whatever, we always include our unit. We've now converted our 25 degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Let's see how the others did. Awesome. Okay, so I don't know why the symbols keep disappearing. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, question 2, convert 10 degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. And I'm going to ask you guys to try question 3 as well by yourselves. Let's go. Don't let me know your answers just yet. Okay, if we have an answer for question 2, let me see them. Yo, you guys are super fast. Nice. Okay, so remember, if there are 2 decimal places, we need to include the 2 decimals. If it just gives you 1 decimal place, and that's fine. Don't worry, Siwa. Not the only one. Okay, so looking at the first one. We're going from degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius, so we are using the top formula. Okay, so it is 10 minus 32 divided by 1,8, and we get an answer of minus 12,22 degrees Celsius. Okay, so don't forget 2 decimal places. And yeah, if you get a negative number with temperature, that's also okay. It just means it's really cold. All right, then question 3. The melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. What is it in degrees Fahrenheit? Okay, I've seen some of the answers already. What did we get for question 3? Nice. Okay, so degrees Fahrenheit is the second formula I showed you. 1,8 times by 0. Oh, that's nice and easy. Could do it without the calculator. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Awesome. Okay, so just quickly, for the most part, these types of questions will be 2 marks. On the odd occasion, it might be for 3 marks. And as you can see, currently we're not showing 3 marks worth. We're only showing 2 marks worth. So if it is ever for 3 marks, work out the brackets in the next step. So it would be 0 plus 32, and then we get our final answer. Okay, so you get 1 mark for substituting, 1 mark for calculating the bracket, because brackets technically come first, and then our answer. But don't stress too much if you forget about it. It's not always for 3 marks, but always check the mark allocation and make sure you're showing enough working out. Okay. Nice, we all got that one. Great. Okay, curious to see how you guys are going to handle question 4 and 5. I just need to quickly change. So I'm going to just have to type it out. Conversion is paper 2. Okay, if we have an answer for question 4, you're welcome to unmute and let me know how you did it, or you can just keep chatting in the chat. Good. So the answers I do see, I'm glad you guys gave me the actual answer to the question. Is it serious? Obviously, show calculation, but you also need to tell me, is it serious enough to go to hospital or not? Awesome. Yes. Okay, so let's quickly awesome. So something like that would be 3 to 4 marks. Okay, so for our calculation, answer and saying yes. Good. Do we have answers for question 5? Just remember, 2 decimal places if there are. If not, then you can leave it to 1 decimal place. Okay, so for this question, we are going from degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit to see if that temperature falls between those two ideal growing temperatures. So sorry, 16. Okay, and because there was only 1 decimal, it's fine. We can leave it as 60,8. And we need to answer the question, should I plant potatoes? Does that fall within the range? Yes, it does. So yes, good time. Or yes, you should. Again, at least 3 marks for that question. Calculation, answer, and your final answer. Nice, awesome. Okay, so how are we feeling about temperature? Are we feeling confident, happy? You're gonna be thanking your lucky stars if you see a question like this in your exam. Yes, yes, they do, Nati. Same topics covered, just write different exams. Awesome. Okay, lots of thumbs up and yeses. Great. Yeah, temperature, it is what it is. You get given the formulas, you just need to know which one to use. Remember to show all your working out 2 decimal places unless they ask otherwise. Then yeah, I think you guys have it down. Let's go on to our next thing for this evening. We're going to be looking at time, measuring time. Just want to quickly check. Okay, Melissa, I'm going to check now with you. And Juanse, you said we always have to write the formula. Not necessarily the formula, but at least the substituted versions like I've done here. You don't have to rewrite the full one, then substitute. But the first step that I've done, yes, you should write that because that shows you're working out. Okay, So measuring time's also quite a popular topic. Can be a little bit confusing at times, but again, it's conversions you need to know off by heart. So time is the measure of passage of time. Our units are days, years, hours, minutes, and seconds. So we need to know how to convert between all of those units. Okay, before we look at those conversions, we're just going to look at how we display time. So analog time and digital time. So there's two ways. We are very used to digital time at the moment because that's the way our cell phones, our watches these days show the time. But analog time is displayed on a clock or watch, and the hour and minute hands indicate the time. So that's our usual round clock that you probably see still hanging up on walls. That's analog time. And then digital time is the time that is displayed by numbers only. So that's how we read it on our cell phones. And I think the way we're all comfortable with reading time. So digital time could look like this, for example. Okay, and our analog time is our actual clock. Okay, cool. So then we've also got time formats. There's two ways we can write the time. We've got a 12-hour format, and we have a 24-hour format. So in a day, we have 24 hours. So with a 12-hour format, our 24 hours are broken up into our 12 hours before noon. So that's our morning time, our AM time. Because remember, 12 o'clock in the afternoon is midday. That is noon. So before noon, everything before 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. is morning, our AM time. And anything afternoon is PM. Okay, so let's say, for example, as we'll look on our clocks now, it says 18:45. That is not a 12-hour format because our clock for 12-hour format ends at 12. It goes from 1 to 12. So if I want to write 18:45 in 12-hour format, I would say 6:45, and I specify that it's evening by saying PM. It's afternoon. Okay. If I wanted to say 6:45 in the morning, I would then say AM. So that's the key thing to remember with 12-hour format. Our numbers only go up to 12, and we say AM or PM after our times. Whereas 24-hour format, that's the format we're used to. We'll read the time like this. Our numbers actually go up to 24. Although we don't write midnight as 24, we write midnight as 0, 100 hours. Okay, so 24-hour, 8 o'clock will be 100 hours in the evening, but it can be 8 in the morning. That's how we differentiate. We know that this is morning, and we know that after the number 12, anything after 12 will be in the afternoon or evening. Okay. So far, the only thing you need to remember now is our time formats. Don't stress too much about analog time versus digital time. 12-hour format, our clock only goes up to 12. So as soon as it's past midday, it's 12 o'clock, but it hits 1 o'clock, you'll say 1 p.m. But with 24-hour, it goes past 12, so we just carry on counting 12. So 1 o'clock must be 1,300 hours. 2 o'clock will be 1,400 hours. Okay, but our 12-hour clock only goes up to 12. And we need to specify by using, is it morning before the afternoon or is it afternoon? Okay, are you guys ready to try some questions on time formats? Okay, let's try one together. So I've done quite a lot of Yeah, examples might have been a bit confusing. So let's see it in actual practice. Okay, so looking at the first question, it says write these times in both 12-hour and 24-hour formats. So the first question says 20 minutes past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so we're going to do 12-hour on this side, 24-hour clock on this side. So keywords is the actual time. So it's 20 minutes past 2 o'clock. So it's 2 o'clock, 20 minutes have passed, and it is in the afternoon. So for 12-hour, we can just say 2:20. And because it's afternoon, we say PM. Yes, you were good. Good. Then 24-hour. Remember, our clock goes past 12 o'clock. So our 2 becomes 14:20. So can we see how this works? Nice. Fantastic answers coming through. Okay. I'm going to ask you guys to try question 2 for me. Don't put your answers in the chat just yet. Siwa. Super fast. It's okay, it's okay. Do the other so long, Siwa. Okay, guys, let's keep the answers off. Let's just give everyone a chance quickly. 15 minutes to 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. It's 15 minutes to 5 and it's morning. Those are your keywords to look out for. What part of the day is it? Now, this topic can be a bit tricky if you're struggling to tell time, which is normal. It happens often. So if you find that you're struggling with this as well, also practice reading time. Okay, if you have an answer for question 2, let's see it in the chat. Awesome. So we've got 12-hour coming through and 24-hour. Nice. Okay, so 15 minutes to 5 o'clock, so it's not 5 o'clock yet. So that means it is 4:45. And because it's 12-hour and we know it's in the morning, we say AM. 24-hour, it's in the morning, so it's 4:45. We don't need to specify AM or PM, but we can see that that is morning. Okay, let's quickly try question 3 and 4. Nice, guys. Thank you for all those answers. Okay, don't put the answers in just yet. So I want everyone to quickly try by themselves without being tempted to read everyone else's answers. Okay, answer for question 3, 12-hour and 24-hour. Nice, good. 18 minutes past 10 in the evening. So looking at 12-hour, it is going to be 10:18, and we have to specify PM because of the evening part of it. And our 24-hour is 22:18. Nice. Question 4. Let's see them answers. Nice. Awesome. Okay, so 3 minutes past midnight. So for 12-hour, we're going to say 12:03 a.m. because midnight becomes morning. It's the start of morning. And then, yeah, don't forget to specify a.m. If we're saying 12:03, we need to say a.m. And 24-hour looks like that. Unati, for question 3, for 12-hour, it is 10:18 p.m. So they won't mark you wrong unless they ask for 24-hour, then it's 22:18. So we're just giving both options for now, but this is still correct according to 12-hour formats. This is correct. And it specifies nighttime by saying PM. Okay. Looking at, I think, the last question for this evening, looking at the different time formats, so pay attention to AM, PM, is a 12-hour, 24-hour. Question 5, order the following times of the day from earliest to latest. Okay, do not put this in the chats. This is going to be a bit confusing to read. I'll let you know. So order these times from earliest to latest. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this one by one. What is the earliest time? Leah raised a hand. Yes, Leah.
It's 04:25.
Oh, thank you. 04:25. Perfect. Do you have the next one for us? Do you want to try the next one? I see. Alwande, do you also want to answer? Oh.
It's 4:30 a.m.
Perfect. Well done. Thank you for answering. 4:30 a.m. Unati. Next.
It's 10:30.
10:30. Good. A.m. Nice. Thank you. Good to hear your voice. Sapang.
Ma'am, it's 16:05.
Great. That's it. Thanks for answering. Nice to hear from you. Who was next? Is it Anamso? Sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
Please look for a pop-up on your screen that's going to ask you to unmute. Otherwise, we can go to Tabile, I think.
Okay, Tabile, what's the next time?
4:15 p.m.
4:15 p.m. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay. Who's next? Ntando.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
It's 10:45 p.m.
10:45. I think we're missing one before that.
Oh,
What's the
no,
one
it's 22:15. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you. Well done. And then Fatso. Last one. Your time to shine.
Ma'am, it's 10:45 p.m.
10:45 p.m. Fantastic. Well done. Thank you. Wow, guys, that was really awesome hearing from all of you. That was great. Can we do this more often?